Hi everybody and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name is Rob Evans and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist and internationally published author, helping take your life, your business, your health, fitness, body and mindset from where you are right now to becoming absolutely unstoppable. And today I want to talk to you about human intervention. How do you know the moment when you should be intervening to help someone, to coach them to a next level, or whether you need to allow them to achieve that growth themselves and find it themselves? And there's a few situations that I can draw on from my own personal experience, some time ago and one that's immediately now. And it's really quite an interesting discussion, because what I might think and what I might tell you now, you might say, no, I completely disagree with that. You absolutely need to make sure that you intervene and do this. Or you say, no, where you want to intervene, you should stand back. Because if you have a look at the areas of your life or those moments where you've grown the most in your life, I guarantee you that it's required you to step up, has it not? I know certainly from 3 or 4 huge instances in my life where things have happened, they've been bad, and it's forced me to either stay in that same place and let the thing trample all over me and take me to a bad place in life, or I've stood up and said, no, I'm not going to allow this to happen to me. And they say that the greatest revenge is absolutely massive success, and that's what I like to follow. But there are moments where I'm coaching clients, for instance, and you can feel like you just want to wrap your arms around them and say, it's going to be okay. But you know that in doing that, and you want to take their pain away. It's like with our kids, people that are close to you. And because with the clients that I'm working with, they do become part of my family, part of my fitness family, part of my broader family. I mean, some clients I'm seeing 3 times a week. I might be communicating with them 4, 5, 6 times a week via text and different forums. So I really get to find out so much about people. And for instance, I just did a session with a client today, and she said she's got these, in inverted commas, friends that just really dump all over her. And what I mean by that is they drop all the monkeys off their back and throw them onto her back. Now, she's going through a bunch of her own stuff, but they never ask her how she's going or what she's going through. But because I'm inquisitive and I ask and I care, and it comes from a genuine place, she said, I know more about her than her friends of years do. Just because she feels safe in telling me, not being judged, and having somebody genuinely care about what's going on for her. And this lady's gone through a lot in her life. Really, really tough. And she still is, just because of the things with her kids and stuff. So there are times where you might be coaching somebody or working with somebody and you want to do the same thing. You just want to wrap them up, take their pain away and say, it's okay. And you want to help them do all these things. But you know that if you step in and intervene at a certain point or at a certain level, that you're going to get the growth and not them. And that can be good for you, but it's no good for them. So you've got to find that point where you can say, okay, I recognize, like this flag waving, for instance. I call some things red flags. Those red flags where you say, oh, geez, this is a real problem. It's a red flag. I need to be cautious here, whether it's somebody that you're not comfortable working with, or it's a financial issue, or something's not going right, where you just feel, yeah, there's a red flag here. I don't know, this one's maybe it's an orange flag, and what that orange flag says to me is, okay, there's an opportunity for growth here for this person, but they need to experience the growth. I need to be careful here that I don't step in here to try and solve this issue for them. They need to be able to solve the issue themselves. And I can say some things and guide them in the right direction, but ultimately they have to find the growth, because the gift is in them going through that search for the growth, finding the how to make the change, and then actually achieving the growth. Rather than me saying, here's the exact answer, this is what you need to do. They do it, they get the outcome, but they don't necessarily get the growth through that. So then if it happens again or something happens again, they might be in exactly the same situation. What we want is for people to be able to understand what it is that they've gone through, really grow from that experience in those learnings so that they can become a better person. And yet you can give people all the right answers. And I think this is the challenge with a coach. You want to help support people and guide people, but there are some things that you just can't and should not do for them because they won't get the growth, because that's just then about you doing it. So there are some times where you just need to hold back, I think. And if I use the case of my daughter, for instance, right now, so obviously something really, really close to home, really emotional. She's going through a tough time. And of course, because she's my daughter, I love her deeply, and you would do anything for your kids. But I also know that if I step in and do things for her, then she will not change, and she will not get the growth that she needs in order to go on and live a fulfilled and happy life. Because if life for you is always about going to someone else to solve a problem for you, you've got financial problems. So, if I go to this person, my parents or whatever, and they just pay for everything, then the problem disappears. There's no growth in that for you. Where the growth is, I don't have any money for this. Gosh, I either need to cut back on my expenses, I need to get some more income. How do I do that? Where's it going wrong for me? How do I fix that? Do I get a financial advisor involved here? Do I get an expert to help me? Do I get the knowledge to learn how to plan my finances better? Do I do all of those things so that I get the growth, so I never ever have this problem again? Or do I just keep going to somebody that keeps effectively putting a band-aid on? Of course, the former that I talked about is the ultimate answer, because you want them to have the growth. But the temptation can be to give them everything. And so when it comes to helping somebody change their mindset, I know that this is going to be a painful, long journey for my daughter, but it's a journey that she absolutely must have. And does that mean she's going to stumble, she's going to fall, she's going to be in pain? Yes, it does. Does that mean that I'm not going to be there for her? No, it doesn't mean that. But what it does mean is that you need to be there to just kind of guide. And if you like, think of it like a straight road, and somebody needs to go down that straight road to get to their destination, and they start to waver off a little bit. And what you need to do is not drive them to the destination, but you need to just kind of prod them back online with a stick. And I'm talking visually here about the car's going off track, and just poke the car on the side a little bit and it gets back on track again, so that as she can continue to find the growth herself, obviously with the support around her. But there are some things you just can't do for people because they just won't get the growth. I remember in my last relationship with Cherie, I was talking to her about the challenges that she needed to face to close out her previous relationship, the family violence, all that kind of stuff. And I said, look, I can tell you what I went through, and I can tell you the different phases that you're going to go through as you go through the process of divorce and separation and all that kind of stuff. But I said, ultimately, I can't really tell you what to do next, because you need to find your pathway through this. Because my journey was like this, and I had to go through those different pain points so that I could get to the other side. So I said, I don't want to tell you what you're going to go through, because you'll know when you get there, and you'll know when you're on the other side, because you've gone through the steps that you needed to go through to get there. Because we're two different people, and we're going to experience it differently. And all I can do is share what I've felt, but in order for you to feel like you are managing things in the right way and doing those things, then you need to find your way of going about dealing with certain things. And so it's a delicate balance that we live in sometimes in society, where we absolutely want to take all our kids' problems away, where when it comes to a workplace, we want to just say, well, it's easier for me to just do that rather than have the employee do it, staff member, the people that are reporting to you. It's easier for you to do it or get someone else to do it. But the growth in that disappears, and you're not building a team around you that's also growing. And that's what we want. We want to inspire people to be able to be greater versions of themselves. So I would encourage you to check in with yourself, and because I'm obviously going through this with my daughter right now, I'm very, very conscious of where I need to pull back. And rather than me say things like, it's okay, darling, I will do that for you, or I will take that pain away for you by doing this, I need to stop myself, change my language, and say, well, you will achieve the growth by going through this. And yes, it's going to take a long time, and it's going to be hard, but you'll become much better and stronger as a result of it. And I think this is the joy in the human spirit and the growth of facing adversity, or the joy of facing adversity, because it's not until you go through the adversity and get to the other side that you realize how important it was for you to go through that and deal with it fully yourself. And it's not that you don't have the support and the coaching and the encouragement around you, but you absolutely must face this stuff head on so that you get the growth. And then guess what? Next time something happens like this to you, or something that is really hard, like COVID for instance, then you are better able to deal with it, because you can refer to your previous experience. How did I deal with that? How did I deal with that? How did I manage that last time? So that you don't fail again, or you get the learning out of it. Because I find every single day there is some area of my life where I grow. And right now it's probably communication with my children, and finding the words of encouragement and support without taking all the pain away, I guess, because without the pain, you're not driven to change. And I know men and women deal with this differently, and women listening to me speaking right now could be saying, well, I just completely disagree. You should be taking away all the pain, or you should be doing, X, Y, Z when you're doing ABC. I appreciate your perspective, and that's okay. It doesn't make me right and you wrong. It just means that it's different. I think the greater gift here is just acknowledging the fact that we shouldn't do everything for everybody. Okay, and that's I think just like when it comes to helping out around the home. I mean, the kids should be helping out. They should be doing all of those kinds of things so that when they move out on their own, they've got some life skills. This is a challenge for me with my eldest, I have to say. But we keep on trying. It's the joy of the human spirit and life as we have it and face it each day. There's always a new challenge for us to face, and always an opportunity for us to grow. So that's my message for today. Stay safe wherever you are. I will see you tomorrow.